Hey, what's up, guys? This is Sutaami. I got another deck tech for you. This is something. It's a combination of colors. Like, it's my favorite to play. It's Grixis or black, blue, red. If you're not familiar with the shards terms, it's a pretty fun deck to play. The version I have is very, very similar to blue-black control, but I'm splashing red for Grim Lavancers and some removal. Those are Arc Trails I'm letting a friend borrow. So let's go through this. 26 lands, 4 Sulphur Falls, 4 Drowned Catacombs. Again, my friend's borrowing the other 2 Drowned Catacombs. Text message. 3 Dragon Skull Summit, 7 islands, 5 swamps, 3 mountains. Need a lot of blue. That's why there's 8 dual lands and 7 of the normal ones, because most of the deck is blue. And then there's black for wind conditions and removal, and then red for removal. Creatures. 2 Grave Titan. Shouldn't have to explain him. If he's dropped uncountered and not field wiped, he can end the game pretty quickly by himself. 2 Solemns. That's just to speed up the lands a little bit, so you can drop a Titan on, or a Titan or a Worm Coil on turn 5. 4 Grim Lavamancer. It's one of the few cards I'm actually splashing red for. Very good in this format. You guys, I'm assuming you've played against Mirror Crusaders, and they're becoming more and more popular. Outside of countering it, there would be no way for this deck to deal with Mirror Crusaders. That's one of the only reasons I'm really using red. 2 Worm Coils. Again, should be pretty easy to explain how good they are in this format. And then, let's go to the spells and the sorceries. 4 Gitaxian Probe. Some people are starting to use these, some aren't. I really like them. You can use them on turn 1 if you want to get a good look at your opponent's hand. You can write it down. That's not illegal. So you can just keep track of what your opponent has and what they've used. Or I like to, if I draw them late game, I like to use them paying 2 life to make sure a Titan or a Worm Coil will go uncountered, and make sure like they don't have a Day of Judgment or something stupid in their hand. 3 Despise. You could use Distress if you prefer. I like Despise because my local meta has a lot of township tokens and a lot of very creature-heavy decks, and I would rather have Despise because I usually end up taking a creature anyway. 4 Forbidden Alchemy, very good. Dig for something you need. Using a Forbidden Alchemy also gets you 2 Grim Lavamancer activations from the Forbidden Alchemy itself, and then the 3 other cards you put in your graveyard. So, you know, that's 4 cards removed for her, him, whatever. And you can search up an answer for something if you need it, or you can search up a win condition. 3 Doomblade, that's just removal. I wouldn't recommend using Go for the Throat right now, because that guy. So, 3 Incinerate, that's just like those. It's more Mirror Crusader hate. I see those all the time. They're also fun to get if your opponent only has like 2 or 3 life left. 2 Black Sun Zenith, those are just field wipes. That should be pretty easy to understand. Counter package, I have 3 Mana Leak, 1 Dissipate. Sometimes I take out one of the Forbidden Alchemies for a 4th Mana Leak, or an Incinerate for a Mana Leak or Dissipate, depending on what I feel like doing. I actually like having these 4, because Dissipate's the hard counter. You can keep that, as long as you have it, you can keep it for something that matters. If you actually get to like turn 9, 10, where your opponent has way more mana than they need to. Last card is Army of the Damned. A lot of people don't like this card. I like it as a win condition, because if you play Army of the Damned for 8 on turn 7 or 8, depending if you got a Solemn, if it gets back to you and you still have the zombies on the board, you win. Like, there's very few times that you can untap 13 2/2s and still lose. They have to have a lot of blockers for that to happen. if you're familiar with my deck techs, I would tell you for sideboards, shape a sideboard based on what's popular at your shop. Like, here's mine, I'll go through it, but it's not a definitive sideboard. 2 Arc Trails, again, my friend's borrowing those. Those are for any kind of quick beatdown kind of deck, like Haunted Humans or Township Tokens, Tempered Steel. They can usually, it can usually 2 for 1 your opponent. 3 Negate, I bring those in against other control decks as a hard counter against Planeswalkers and other counters. 3 Deathmark, that's just more removal for... It's another text message. More removal for cheap decks, and green and white is pretty huge right now. So Deathmark's pretty good. 2 Sorin's Vengeance is a very odd choice for your sideboard. I like to bring those in instead of Grave Titan or Wormcoil against well, not Wormcoil, but I usually take out the Grave Titans and put those in against heavy aggro decks, because if I untap on turn 6 or 7, play my 7th land in Sorin's Vengeance, I usually win at that point. I just feel like that does 10 damage easier than Grave Titan does against big, tons of creature aggro decks. Just a little bit more removal, 2 go for the throat, 1 Doomblade, bring those in if I need them. 2 Lives Finale, I actually I take out the Black Sun, well, like 1 Black Sun, and then bring those 2 in against mostly human aggro decks. Lives Finale, I like the fact that you can search their library for creatures and take those out, because I usually get Mirror Crusaders or Hero Blade Holds. So that's about it. Like I said, it's pretty much blue-black control, but with some red in there for removal. So tell me what you think. Comment, not subscribe. You don't have to subscribe if you don't want to. That's bull. Comment. Tell me what you think about it. Improvements, if you can think of any. This is the list I've been working on for a while. I test on cockatrice, whatever. I'm like 22 and 8 or 22 and 7, something like that. So I got an over 50% win ratio right now. So it's a pretty solid deck. I really like to play it. So thanks for viewing.